Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. Today we're going over Malachi chapter 3, right? And I've read Malachi so many times, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But again, each time I read it, I always get something different. Because the way that I used to study is not the same way that I study now. Like my studying has progressed, right, over time. So I'm actually not on my break. I'm on my lunch break, so I have a little bit more time. I didn't want to rush through this one, but let's just start. Let's just get into it. See, I am sending my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me, which we know is John the Baptist or Johanan the Immerser. Then suddenly the master you are seeking come to his Hakal, even the messenger of the covenant in whom you delight. See, he is coming, said Yahweh of hosts, speaking of Yahusha, his word. And who is able to bear the day of his coming, and who is able to stand when he appears? For he is like the fire of a refiner, and like the soap of a launderer. Now I had to look up this word soap, and it gave me lye, potash, and alkali, which alkali is a soluble salt obtained from the ashes of plants, consisting largely of potassium or sodium carbonate. Now, there's more information that goes to that with the next verse, but I just wanted to define this word. Potash is potassium carbonate, especially from wood ashes used in agriculture or industry. Now, I also looked up potash in a different dictionary and it mentioned dung. And I was just like, and manure. We're not going to go there. But anyway, the next verse says, and he shall sit as a refiner and a cleaner of silver, and he shall cleanse the sons of Levi and refine them as gold and silver. Now, when you refine gold and silver, I do believe that you are putting heat to it to cleanse it, to clean it. Yeah, the fire of a refiner. So you use it to clean, which is where the soap of a launderer comes in, because what do you do with soap? Especially with lye, I do believe you're supposed to like dilute it, right? Before you use lye. I don't think you can use pure lye. It may burn your skin, but I mean even then it's to cleanse. So he's cleansing the Levites like you would clothes. And it's so funny the way that analogies are used. Like he gives you analogies and metaphors to kind of paint a picture of what it is that he's saying, right? So he's the refiner, okay, and he is going to cleanse them just like we use soap, the soap of a launderer. It cleanses. And he says that, and they shall belong to Yahweh, bringing near an offering and righteousness. Then shall the offering of Yehuda and Yerushalayim be pleasant to Yahweh, as in the days of old, as in former years. Now, at this point, he's like, I don't want y'all's offerings. And he said that. He said, I don't want y'all's offerings. I don't want nothing from y'all, because one, is done in vain, and two, it's done out of you doing it out of like obligation, like out of it being like a chore, instead of genuinely wanting to do it like I told you to. It's become a burden to you now. Why would I want that? Anything that is a burden to you, why would you want to offer it to me? No, because I know your intention. I know your heart in offering whatever this offering is to me. Like, what are you doing it for? And not only that, y'all are offering offerings on the altar for other gods, not just me on my altar for these other gods. Not just, why would I want the same offering? Why would I want the same one? Like, you've tainted it, you've defiled it. Why would I want that? No, I don't want your offering until I have refined you. Then your offering will be pleasant to me, right? But what does he have to do first? He has to cleanse the sons of Levi and refine them. Then they can offer the offerings and he will accept them. But as of right now, he don't want that. No. And I shall draw near to you for right ruling, and I shall be a swift witness against the practices of witchcraft, and against adulterers, and against them that swear to falsehood, and against those who oppress the wage earner in his wages, and widows and the fatherless, and those who turn away a sojourner and do not fear me, said Jehovah of hosts. Now, here's the thing about this. He says, I shall be a swift witness against, right? Typically, when you have a case, right, and people working the case, they have to go out and find witnesses, and it takes a while, right? And not even that, but once they find a witness, they have to make sure that the information that they're giving is valid and truthful. Well, when it comes to Yahuwah, he's seen everything, he knows everything. So he's a swift witness. He doesn't need nobody else to testify. He can testify himself because he's seen it from beginning to end. So it's swift. Don't have to go searching. He right there. He was right there the whole time. And what he witnesses and what he says against us will be truthful because he has seen it all. We can't lie and hide it, right? We can't, we can't tell him that, oh, you're giving falsehood. First of all, saying that Yahweh is a liar is blasphemous. But anyway, he's a witness. You can't say, oh, you didn't see that. Oh, but there are some people who will think that, who think they can hide. They can hide their sins and whatnot from Yahweh. And it's like, no, you cannot. He sees everything, whether it's done in the dark, whether it's done behind a building, whether it's done under a car, wherever he sees it. He's a swift witness because he has seen it, all of it. Even if you're in a room by yourself, you ain't there by yourself. You're not. For I am Yahweh, I shall not change, and you, sons of Jacob, shall not come to an end. So he always says there's going to be a remnant. He's not going to completely destroy Yasharel, but he is going to refine Yasharel, which means in the wilderness there are going to be some people who are not going to make it into the kingdom. They're going to be in that pit. He has to refine, just like he has to refine the earth, right? Completely cleanse it of all the wicked things that people have done on it. The earth is a witness. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to witnesses, and this is mentioned in here too. I don't remember the specific scriptures, but I know it's in here that the earth will be a witness. The trees will be a witness. Everything that you think is an inanimate object will be a witness to testify all that they have seen, right? Can you imagine if like trees and plants and everything were to come to life? Like trees that have been down for that have been grown and around for like 1,000 years or even more. Can you imagine what they can testify to if they were given the ability to speak? The animals, if they were given the ability to speak, do you know how much trouble? Listen, they'd be snitching left and right, right? Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine if the sidewalk, the concrete could talk? The grass, the blades of grass, how much blood has been shed in the grass. Can you imagine? They're also witnesses, just like he is. And they're swifter than us because they've been seeing everything too. Yeah, yeah. For the days of your fathers, you have turned aside from my laws and did not guard them. Turn back to me, and I shall turn back to you, said Yahweh of hosts. But you said, and what shall we turn back? First of all, the audacity to even ask that question. Okay. It says, would a man rob Elohim? Yea, you are robbing me. But you said, in what way have we robbed you? In the tithe and the offering. So they were supposed to give tithes and offering to the Levites, which was also giving tithes and offerings to Yahuwah. Well, the people were not doing that. And even if they were, the Levites were so wicked, the priests were so wicked and leading people astray, it was tainted. Yes, they robbed Yahweh. They robbed him of the tithes and offerings. Because what were they doing with the tithes and offerings? First of all, they were using the offerings to offer up to other gods and whatnot, right? That's what they were doing with that. They were sacrificing on the altar for other gods, the same altar that they're supposed to be sacrificing and giving offerings to Yahweh. They were doing that for other gods. That's robbing him of what belongs to him, right? The priests are the ones who are supposed to be leading people to Yahweh, who are supposed to be atoning for their sins, All offerings are brought to the priest, and they're supposed to be doing Yahweh's work. But were they doing his work? No. Which is why I said up here, and he shall sit as a refiner and a cleanser of silver, and he shall cleanse the sons of Levi, because right now they're dirty, they're rank, they're disgusting. So yeah, that's what he's saying. You robbed me of my tithes and offering, because what y'all doing with them? Give them to these other false gods, these other pretend gods, right? It says, you are cursed with a curse, for you are robbing me, the nation, all of it. Bring all the tithes into the storehouse, and let there be food in my house. And please prove me in this, said Yahweh of hosts, whether I do not open for you the windows of the heavens and shall pour out for you boundless blessings. Now here's the thing. What he's people take this, especially in the church, when it comes to tithes and offerings, like they take Malachi, especially this chapter, to use as evidence that you're supposed to give tithes and offerings. That is not what he's talking about. No. He's saying, first of all, by doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is being obedient and doing what I told you to do, prove prove it. Prove that I will give to you all the blessings, right? He will bless you immensely. But the thing is, they didn't have faith. They had no faith. They didn't have belief that he would give them all that they wanted. Not even just all that they wanted, but even stuff they didn't even ask for. Think of Solomon. All he asked for was wisdom, and Yahweh gave him that plus riches and wealth. So he's saying, prove to me, or prove me that I will not do this. If you do what I say and be obedient, prove that I will not bless you. I will bless you immensely by doing what I told you to do. Plain and simple. But they weren't doing that. Yahweh gave the Levites a specific job that they were supposed to be doing. They were not doing that. So he was saying, yeah, y'all robbed me because y'all are using the tithes and offerings for things that have nothing to do with me. If you were to be doing what I told you to do, y'all would be blessed. Y'all wouldn't be in this mess that y'all are in. You would not be here. But y'all wanted to be disobedient. Y'all wanted to go against what I said. So here we are. Right? And I shall rebuke the devourer for you, so that it does not destroy the fruit of your ground, nor does the vine fail to bear fruit for you in the field, say Yahweh of hosts. So continuing the blessings. And all the nations shall call you blessed, for you shall be a land of delight, said Yahweh of hosts. Your words have been strong against me, said Yahweh, but you have said, what have we spoken against you? Again, the audaciousness. Okay. You have said it is worthless to serve Elohim. And what did we gain when we guarded his charge and when we walked as mourners before Yahweh of hosts? And now we are calling the proud blessed. Not only are the doers of wrongness built up, but they also try Elohim and escape. The audaciousness continues. So the thing is, right? He says, your words have been strong against me, but you have said, what have we spoken against you? Well, y'all have spoken a lot against him, right? It is worthless to serve Elohim. What did we gain when we guarded his charge? Ain't y'all in the land? Or wasn't y'all at one point in the land? Like this land filled with milk and honey. Like y'all had everything. Everything that you could have possibly wanted. Things you didn't even know that you wanted. You could have had everything. But y'all squandered it away because y'all like, y'all see what all these other nations are doing and serving these other gods, and they have seemingly more than what y'all have. Like, why y'all not minding y'all business? That's the problem. That's what happens when you're minding other people's business, and then you're like, oh, why don't I have that? I want that. Let me do what they're doing, right? Because what are we given by serving Yahweh? What are we given by keeping his commandments? What are, like what? First of all, the ultimate prize is to live in eternity in the kingdom. That is what we should be looking forward to. But they're too busy looking at what they have in the world, what they want in the world, not what's to come. That's where people lose sight. They see everything that's in the world and they're just like, well, the kingdom, that's too far away. That's a long time from now. Like, I don't want to wait for that. I want what I want now. I want it now. And then when it comes to Judgment Day, now look at you. And now we are calling the proud blessed. Not only are the doers of wrongness built up, but they also try Elohim and escape. So you thought just because it looked like they escaped now does not mean that they're going to escape for all of eternity. No. Stop worrying about other people. Mind your business. Then shall those who fear Yahweh speak to one another, and Yahweh listens and hears. Remember, when two or more are gathered, he is in the midst. And a book of remembrance be written before him of those who fear Yahweh and those who think upon his name. And the book of remembrance, I'm assuming it's going to be one of the other books that are opened in Revelation, because Revelation talks about the books were open as well as the book of life. So there's different types of books. Don't know. Have no idea. And they shall be mine, said Yahweh of hosts, on the day that I prepare a treasured possession, and I shall spare them as a man spares his own son who serves him. Right? So I believe that this is talking about during or after um, the tribulation. It says, then you shall again see the difference between the righteous and the wrong, between one who serves Elohim and one who does not serve him. We can see that now, can't we? We can clearly see who serves Yahuwah and who does not, and we're going to be able to see even more. There's going to be a definite line drawn where you can clearly see who serves Yahuwah and who does not. Especially when the great tribulation comes, especially when you start seeing all these signs, you are going to see that line clearly. It's not going to be blurred. Right now, it's a little blurred, it's a little murky. You can kind of tell the difference between who, is and who isn't, but there's going to be a line that you're going to be able to see. Which side of the line are you going to be on? Right? But yeah, because he said, then you shall again see the difference. Because they saw the difference at one point in time. What it was like for the people who served him and the people who didn't. They saw the difference. But then it got to a point where they were not seeing the difference because everybody was just doing whatever they wanted to do, just like they are now. Everybody does what they want to do, period. So my lunch break is over. That's all I got for y'all.